Hello, I'm Alessandra Occhiolini, and I'll be reading to you today from Sirens. And if you have the Gabler edition, this will begin on line 185 of Sirens, and it will be on page 214 of your book. And so as we begin in the spirit of the chapter, by Cantwell's offices roved Greasebloom, by Seppi's virgins, bright of their oils. Nanetti's father hawked those things about, wheedling at the doors as religion pays. Must see him for that par. Eat first, I want. Not yet. At 4, she said. Time ever passing, clock hands turning on. Where to eat? The Clarence, the Dolphin. On. For Raoul, eat. Find out 5 guineas with these ads. The violet silk petticoats. Not yet. The sweets of sin. Flushed less, still less, goldenly paled. Into their bars strolled Mr. Daedalus. Chips picking chips off one of his rocky thumbnails. Chips he strolled. Oh, welcome back, Miss Deuce. He held her hand. Enjoyed her holidays? Tip-top. He hoped that she had had nice weather in Rostraver. Gorgeous, she said. Look at the holy show I am, lying out on the strand all day. Bronze whiteness. That was exceedingly naughty of you, Mr. Daedalus told her and pressed her hand indulgently. Tempting poor, simple males. Miss Deuce of Satin deuced her arm away. Oh, go away, she said. You're very simple, I don't think. He was. Well, now I am, he mused. I look so simple in the cradle, they christened me Simple Simon. You must have been a doty, Miss Deuce made answer. And what did the doctor order today? Well, now, he mused, whatever you say yourself. I think I'll trouble you for some fresh water and half a glass of whiskey. Jingle. With the greatest alacrity, Miss Deuce agreed. With the grace of alacrity towards the mirror gilt Cantrell and Cochrane's she turned herself. With grace she tapped a measure of gold whiskey from her crystal keg. Forth from the skirt of his coat, Mr. Daedalus brought pouch and pipe. Alacrity she served, he blew through the 2 husky fife notes. By Jove, he mused, I often wanted to see the Mourne Mountains. Must be a great tonic in the air down there, but a long threatening comes at last, they say. Yes. He fingered shreds of hair, her maiden hair, her mermaids, into the bowl. Chips, shreds, musings, mute. None not said nothing, yes. Gaily Miss Deuce polished a tumbler, trilling, Oh, Dolores, queen of the eastern seas. Was Mr. Lidwell in today? In came Lenehan, round him peered Lenehan. Mr. Bloom reached Essex Bridge. Yes, Mr. Bloom crossed Bridge of Yessex. To Martha I must write, by paper, dailies. Girl, they're civil. Bloom, old Bloom. Blue Bloom is on the Rye. He was in at lunchtime, Miss Deuce said. Lenehan came forward. Was Mr. Boylan looking for me? He asked. She answered. Miss Kennedy, was Mr. Boylan in while I was upstairs? She asked. Miss Voice of Kennedy answered, a second teacup poised, her gaze upon a page. No, he was not. Miss Gaze of Kennedy, heard, not seen, read on. Lenehan round the sandwich bell wound, his round body round. Peep, who's in the corner? No glance of Kennedy rewarding him, yet he made overtures. To mind her stops, to read only the black ones, round O and crooked S. Jingle, jaunty jingle. Girl gold she read and did not glance, take no notice. She took no notice, while he read by rote a sulpha fable for her, plampering flatly. A fox met a stork, said the fox to the stork, will you put your bill down in my trough and pull up a bone? He droned in vain. Miss Deuce turned her tea aside. He sighed aside. Ah me, oh my. He greeted Mr. Daedalus and got a nod. Greetings from the famous son of a famous father. Who may he be? Mr. Daedalus answered. Lenehan opened most genial arms. Who? Who may it be? He asked. Can you ask? Stephen, the youthful bard. Dry. Mr. Daedalus' famous father laid by his dry-filled pipe. I see, he said. I didn't recognize him for the moment. I hear he is keeping very select company. Have you seen him lately? He had. I quaffed the nectar bowl with him this very day, said Lenehan. In Mooney's Unville and in Mooney's Sur Mer. He had received the rhino for the labor of his muse. He smiled at bronze tea-bathed lips, at listing lips and eyes. The elite of Erin hung upon his lips. The ponderous pundit Hugh McHugh, Dublin's most brilliant scribe and editor, and that minstrel boy of the wild wet west, who is known by the euphonious appellation of the O'Madden Burke. After an interval, Mr. Daedalus raised his grog, and that must have been highly diverting, said he. I see. He see. He drank, with far-away morning mountain eye, set down his glass. He looked towards the salon door. I see you have moved the piano. The tuner was in today, Miss Deuce replied, tuning it for the smoking concert, and I never heard such an exquisite player. Is that a fact? Didn't he, Miss Kennedy? The real classical, you know. And blind too, poor fellow. Not 20, I'm sure he was. Is that a fact? Mr. Daedalus said. He drank and strayed away. So sad to look upon his face, Miss Deuce condoled. God's curse on a bitch's bastard. A happy Bloomsday from the Rosenbach.